Quite a few years ago, I was having a procedure done in the hospital, and it was quite an invasive procedure. There was no sedation, no painkillers. I was awake the whole time, and I screamed blue murder. It was so painful. And the poor doctor and the nurse that were there, they were trying everything to make things easier for me, but it just was not happening. It was so painful. And finally, after a while, the doctor looked at me and said, "I'm sorry, you're going to have to come back and we're going to have to try again." So he sent me home with this experience of having had this incredibly painful and unsuccessful procedure done, knowing that I needed to come back the day after and do it again. And the things that went through my mind. Fortunately, just for a few moments, because I had already had experiences where a procedure or something was meant to be painful, even excruciating, and I didn't feel any pain. I have also, if anybody's tried this, you might have heard of it if you haven't tried it, walked barefoot on burning coals without getting burned. So I know about the possibilities of experiencing something different than what I think is going to happen, what I expect might happen, even what is described to me as going to happen. So when I went back the next day to have the procedure done again, I felt no pain at all, which sounds unbelievable perhaps, but it's absolutely true. No pain at all. And I wasn't even surprised. The only thing I felt was the pressure of the doctor like pressing against my body, but it didn't hurt. It was just the difference in density in a way. So then another experience when I was speaking to someone about an experience I'd had. Now, this is the difference. The procedure in the hospital was a physical experience of pain. This was a psychological pain. A person had done something I had experienced as incredibly hurtful. And I felt a lot of grief, a lot of sadness, a lot of hurt. Having had the experience of not having a body, now, not the experience of resisting having a body, avoiding the experience of having a body, but not having one. I knew that I create my experience. I knew that not having a body was the experience of the nothing, which I call the the nothing. It is nothing. It's a void. The nothing from which everything is created. So as I sit with this experience of nothing, and I'm recounting the story of the experience I've had with this person, I begin to feel this grief and hurt and sadness. And immediately the thought appears, I don't have to feel this. I don't have to feel this. Not I don't want to feel this. Not I can't handle feeling this, but I don't have to. In the understanding, the knowing that I can create something else. Or be the nothing. The moment that knowing arose in me, the feeling disappeared. It wasn't suppressed or pushed down. It wasn't avoided. It disappeared. It was no longer there because I didn't have to create it. I didn't have to attach any meaning to the situation that I'd been through. I didn't have to make any assumptions about it. I didn't have to make any judgments or interpretations. I didn't have to create any kind of obstacle. I didn't have to do anything with it at all. And so the feeling wasn't there. In another experience, again, a different experience than the psychological experience of pain and the physical experience of pain of a procedure being done to me. In both of these situations, we would think done to me. I had a situation where I experienced it as difficult. This is difficult. And you know, when you have experiences of difficult, where you kind of think, oh, I don't want to do this. And you can't kind of, no, I don't want to do it. It's difficult. There's this wanting to avoid it. I didn't even realize there was resistance. The moment I was experiencing it, it just seemed like a difficult thing to do. Maybe a weight that was too heavy or something that was too challenging. It was difficult. And then, split second, the question arose in me, again unknowing, what if I don't resist? I hadn't been aware that whatever it was seemed difficult, or I experienced it as difficult because I was resisting it. I wasn't aware of that. But the knowing arose in me. What if I don't resist? And the moment the knowing arose, it was no longer difficult. It was effortless. It was easy. It was a flow. I didn't care. And it's amazing that when I think about it, because it was exactly the same thing, exactly the same task. But in the one moment, I experienced it as difficult. And in the other, nothing. Effortless. Easy. Why am I telling you this? Because having had the experience of not having a body, of what it's like to be dead. We don't die. We are the un, or the un is the un. It is nothing. And that nothing is always. It's eternal. It's everything. Those experiences have shown me, I have had those direct experiences of being the creator of my experience. From nothing, I create the experience. So I can create discomfort. I can create difficulty. I can create pain, agony, any kind of suffering. Or I can know that I am the creator of those, and I don't have to create any of them. In which case, they don't exist. The experience is completely without suffering. Completely without suffering. So the things you think are the way they are, the things you think you have to endure, think again.